Hello everyone, Teacher Amanda here with you for another episode of No Show Theater. Guys, everything is changing along and including the interview process with VIPKID. So I'm going to give you a fair warning. If you're looking for a slide-by-slide demonstration of the interview process, this isn't one of those videos. This is going to be me telling you what it takes to be a VIPKID teacher and to kind of give you an idea of what the interview will look like now that things have changed. I think that I want this video to be current and I want it to stay current, and because of that, I think that the tips need to be able to change even if you get a different demo lesson than the one that I had, or the one that Susie down the street had, or the one that Bob with a video over here has. So this is why I'm changing my process. Now, let's get down to some of the bits and pieces part of it. If you have not applied to VIPKID and you're interested, you can use my referral link down below if you want my help getting hired with VIPKID. If you have already applied, but without a referring teacher, which is totally okay, and you would still like my help in becoming a VIPKID teacher, I'm going to leave directions for you down below as well. When you add me as your referring teacher, I will get an email and I will forward you as much help as I can possibly offer, and believe me, that is quite a bit. In the past month, I have helped over I think it's somewhere along 17 people just in the past 4 weeks get hired with VIPKID. So let me help you. It's what I do. So I would be happy to offer any assistance like that. And if you are my referral, I obviously will prioritize my help. I'll answer all kinds of questions. Here, I answer questions through email, but specifically for my referrals, I offer Skype occasionally when I'm free, and I have 6 kids, by the way, so I'm not always free, but I offer, lots and lots of support, and I would like to do that for you. If you need help and you do not have a referring teacher, you can follow the directions down below, and I can do that for you. Okay, guys, so the process has changed, but my 6 tips that I feel like are vital to helping you get hired have not changed. And I'm going to show you those. Here they are. Okay, number 1, smile. Be warm and welcoming. Be the best you that you can be. That's number 1 on the list, right? So just be yourself. And I do talk about in my other video that I feel like appearance is really important. I'm wearing my VIPKID orange. That's not a requirement anymore, but it doesn't hurt to show a little team spirit. That's kind of what I've heard it called. So orange is a good color to wear. The Chinese culture is very beauty based. So if you typically wear makeup, go ahead and do that. If you don't, just be presentable. Be your best version of you. One thing you've noticed is that I speak a lot with my hands. That's a version of TPR, which is total physical response. And that really helps the children kind of associate words with certain actions. For example, hit. Hit. And the goal is to engage the child to hit so that they're associating this movement with this word. Speak, listen. Speak, listen. TPR. Speaking of speak slowly. I'm going to kind of demonstrate that for you now. Hello, my name is Teacher Amanda. What is your name? Wait for a response. Erica, how are you? I'm fine. Good job. How old are you? 9? Good job! Let's go! That would be the typical pace of a beginner student in my classroom. And that included my 3 magic questions, which I feel like is very important. Ask the student, what's your name? How are you? How old are you? These are great introductory questions, and asking these also gives you an idea of the ability of the student. If they can answer in complete sentences, that's great. That means that you may be able to expand a little bit on the material. If they're answering in one-word sentences, that gives you an idea that they're a little bit more of a beginner. If they're not answering at all, now you're at square one. But this is a great judge because with VIPKID, different students can book your schedule again and again. So you may have different students every time. So you'll definitely have to gauge their ability when you come into the classroom. Use props. That's number 4. Whatever you have, I'm going to show you. Prop, 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 prop. Okay, so as a VIPKID teacher, I obviously have a desk full of props. You don't have to have a desk full of props. Not yet, not for your interview. But, use what you have. McDonald's had these little toys about 2 weeks ago. And I was like, ooh, prop. Prop. And I found lots of these little guys. So I didn't have to steal anything from the kids. Actually, most of my props are mine. And I haven't taken them from any of my small children. Because I felt kind of bad. I wouldn't return them. So whatever you have that kind of goes along with the lesson. For example, if the lesson is regarding feelings or your face, you can definitely have cutouts of or different faces on paper and hold them up and be excited. The kids like when I use my big star. And so, you hide your face and reveal your face. So, things are not your only prop. Your face is a prop. Use lots of expression, interact with the camera, come close, high five, thumbs up, good job. Your body is a prop. Be very active, use lots of movement. And I know during your lesson, interview, you might be a little nervous, but definitely engaging your whole body and being excited will help kind of ease those nerves and make you more natural in the classroom. Pace yourself. Pace yourself. You have 10 minutes to do this lesson. I think there are 10 slides. I'm not really sure, but you want to pace yourself about 1 minute per slide. The best way to do this is to practice, practice, practice. So you need to get that pacing down to a science. Of course, you have to account for the fact that someone else will need to be speaking. So you have about 1 minute per slide, but you also need to be taking time for listening. And so what I do, and if you're doing a recorded demo, this is what you can do. How are you? How are you? You listen. In your mind, you're thinking, I'm fine. Good. So pace for a response. Say the response in your head and then move on. Okay? Pace, pace, pace. Minimize incidental language. I'm going to demonstrate this to you by doing the opposite of that. Okay, Billy, today we are going to learn about animals. This is an animal. This dog is very cute. It has small ears and a small nose, and he likes to walk around. Do you like to walk around? I like to walk around. This dog is very cute, and he likes to walk around. Walk around. Obviously, there's a lot of language going on there. I'm sorry for the dinging. I'll turn that off. There's a lot of language going on there. And if your beginner student were to hear you talk like that, they would be completely freaked out. Instead, I'm not even going to say to you, we are going to learn about a dog. I would say, dog. Dog. Woof, woof, woof. Very good. Okay. I didn't say hardly anything, right? Big expression, lots of reassurance, and lots of repeating. Notice 3 times. Dog, dog, dog. Listen, listen, listen. When you intro a new word or a new concept, 3 times is kind of that magic number. I actually read somewhere that it's 13 times before it's a habit. Don't do 13 times in your lesson. Okay, now that is the basics, okay? This is the actual lesson. Here's what you need to do. At the bottom of every slide, there's a very specific set of teacher directions. Follow the directions. They're going to tell you exactly what to do. Now, most of you all are teachers or have children or who have encountered children in your life. You know how to get on their level. So come down here to Childland. Use your imagination. Use props. Use your hands. Use motion to teach the children what the teacher directions require of you. But follow them very closely. There will be phrases. You need to say the phrases as they are on the slide. There will be objectives, like the objective of this is to review this letter. So intro the letter, intro the items around the letter, help the student identify. You all know from your education courses, hopefully, the method of I do, we do, you do. Follow this throughout your lesson, okay? Demo it for the student. Work with the student to understand the concept. Allow the student to show mastery of the concept, okay? You can do it all in 1 minute, I promise. I promise you can do this with just a little bit of practice. Look for the big idea of each slide. And what I would suggest is getting something like I have here. Okay? I have these big Post-it notes. You could get a small one. But write the main idea of each slide and then write out how you're going to implement TPR, how you're going to implement a prop, how you're going to show I do, you do, we do, or I do, we do, you do, and how you're going to intro a word, a new word, 3 times. Repeat 3 times. Okay? The other thing is, and if you're not a preschool student or a teacher, this might be a little bit hard for you, is the blends. Okay? They don't make a lot of sense unless you're a preschool teacher. You know that blends don't necessarily have to be a word. I think in this lesson they are actual words. But what you do when you intro a blend is you want to use your synthetic phonics. If you don't have a good grasp of synthetic phonics, I'm going to link Teacher Ellie's video on synthetic phonics down below. She does a great demo of that alphabet. Okay, she's a Mach 1 mentor, so she knows. Okay, use your synthetic alphabet to introduce the blend sound. That is the second sound. Okay, so let's say you have at. At. You're wanting to blend mat. Intro. At. It's kind of backwards, right? At. 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 Mat. So regardless of the word, you understand. Intro, the end sound. Intro, the letter sound. Help the student combine it into a word. The following slide may allow you to show that the student has mastered the concept. So you will have them demo one and have them demonstrate that they understand what you taught on the previous slide. Okay, so this does go along with how prepared are you for this lesson, because you will know, okay, that you don't drill, maybe don't drill number one if you can master on number two, or if the student can show mastery on number two, spend more time explaining on number one. See? You know, because you're going to practice, and I know you will. Okay, and I mentioned this before, but props. Use what you have. If you only have paper, draw it out. Okay? If you have a printer, print it out. If you have $1 million and you want to go down to Target, go down to Target. Okay? Use what you have. But definitely introduce as many props as possible. Okay? When you see, this is very important for any VIPKID class, and really anything that you're going to do in your coming lessons, be it your interview or your mock class, when you see a red word on a slide, that is either a high frequency word, which means a word that occurs a lot in reading that the student should be demonstrating mastery of, or a new word. And especially in beginner classes, a red word is a new word. So when you get to the slide, don't just jump into the conversation. First, identify the red word by circling it on your slide. Happy. Intro. Repeat 3 times before the reading portion. Okay? You can do this. Which brings me to my last point when I say circle on the slide. Okay. This is something that I've been telling people recently, and I really think it's helping. You won't get to practice really with the system until your interview. So you might be a little bit nervous about how it works. And I've had people message me before and they're not really sure. So it's not Skype, and it's not anything probably that you've encountered before. It's a classroom. And then, okay, so this is your classroom. There are 2 windows, your interviewer and you here. You will have access via your mouse to the PowerPoint here. You will be able to move the slides. You will be able to draw on the slides, okay? So now you've got your speech, your TPR, your props, and drawing on the slide. So you need to, don't forget the PowerPoint in the midst of all your props and all your writing and all your pointing. Don't forget that there's a PowerPoint over here. So use that for things that, so that you don't have to rewrite things. Don't do the whole lesson on a whiteboard when you have the PowerPoint right beside you. Use the PowerPoint to your advantage. I feel it should be about, I'm not going to say 50-50. You can use the PowerPoint quite a bit for circling, drawing arrows, demonstrating, and then your props are supplementary to that. And you're going to use a lot of props, so you're going to write on the slides quite a bit. Okay? Guys, I hope that this was helpful to you. Please email me if you have any more questions. I would be happy to help you get through the interview process with VIPKID. All of my information is on my channel. So subscribe, like, leave a comment. You all know I will respond to you. I love you all, my followers. I will see you all in your own VIPKID classroom. And please let me know if you watch this video and get hired because of it. Thank you all. Bye-bye.